welcome to today's video. So let's start with the playing. So I didn't change this much, except I changed where this triggers. I added in a coin, which you can see in red, being updated. Then I also updated my object. And then something I forgot to mention last time, this actually checks to see if you are below max health before it will spawn a health pack. Then the last thing I added in this level is all the way over here inside of the tower. So as you can see, not only are we reloading the level, but we can also complete the level and go on to the next level. So here we have the coins. And we just had our seekers spawn. Now there are some other things here on the level that I did not do, such as this lift in the door. But what I did do with the lift was I changed the lift to be able to go side to side instead of up down. I also made it so that the seekers can be destroyed by having them run into world objects. Okay, so there's also these lifts. Then, actually my health is not low here. I don't remember where I put the end level. I think it's at the end of the walkway. Oh, it is not here. I remember where I put it. It is at the end, it's just at the other end. And we're back here. I got rid of the trigger that was here. And I don't know why they are. Alrighty. Now, time to show off the code. So the first thing I want to talk about is the game state singleton, or the game instance. So in this game instance singleton, the reason it's a singleton is because there should only be one of the variables in here, so that other objects can access it but not store within it, I believe is the best way I can put that. It's not necessarily being stored, but yeah. So we have our lives and our points here. The points I figured would be good in the singleton because they continuously increase and not decrease. Um, and they also need to be saved beyond one life, which you can do that here by storing the points under the game instance, and I have it increasing by the coins. And I can show you that. Here is the coin. That's why it wasn't rotating. All right, now it should rotate when I load it back up. So here we have a custom event coins, and coins is an event that is under the collectible component. So coins, oh, it didn't do what I wanted. There it is. So there's a custom function under the collectible component. That's what it is. So all we're doing here is we are grabbing the game instance that we set up, which is GPU 104 game instance, and then we are grabbing the points of the target, we are incrementing it, and then we are setting our current points to the total point or the target points incremented. So it's +1 essentially. And then it destroys the actor after checking if the player pawn is overlapping it. Then we also have our object, our seeker object, which is a child of our original seeker, which is no longer used. So on overlap, it's going to check if it is overlapping the player character or any other object. And while it is overlapping the player character, then it's basically just going to run the parent graph, which is all of the movement and such from the follow player. All of this. This is the parent class. And then basically, if it is overlapping any other objects, it's going to set its, or it's going to grab its location, set its location to x-1, moving it one space back on the x coordinate, and then setting it to the new location. And then I also have it changing the sound that comes in, or when the object comes in, and setting the initial speed to 600. This is the follow player. What else is in here? Let's load up the other level. For this level, I've been working mostly on the other level. Okay. So, in here. Oh, I forgot. There's more coins inside the houses. But like I said, I didn't do the houses. These are part of a free asset. And the lifts are also part of a free asset. And the only thing I changed on their code was the side to side instead of up down. And I did have to reposition them and such. The coins, I believe I already went over the code for the coins. right, these seekers, or the spawners, we'll go over the spawners, because the spawners are a little different. So these spawners, no, sorry, the spawners aren't the difference. It's what the spawners do. So, right. Where did I put the code? I think it's in the triggers. Yes, the triggers are what run the thing. So on the health spawn trigger, or actually this is just a trigger box blueprint. But this is the trigger box for, I'm going to rename this. Okay. I can rename this. Anyways, we have a spawn health function that gets the actor class of the player. I guess I could have done get player pawn here, but I needed the component class and I needed the target health and current class. So yeah, I wanted the component value, so I went with the get actor of class. Then if the max health is greater than the current health, then it will spawn a, it will get the actor of class health spawner and spawn a seeker, because the spawn seeker is a parent function from the follow player spawner. And if your health is, I guess I could change this to greater than or equal to, and it should run the same. But then the other trigger, and we'll get to these in a second. Yes, the Teddy spawner and the Teddy trigger. They do nothing. That's right, because I, in the Teddy spawner, I have it checking to see if the player is overlapping the spawner object. And if it is, then we are going to delay 100 frames and spawn the Teddy, which is the object. And the reason that I'm delaying it by 100 frames, and 100 frames coming from the delta seconds, is because if I don't delay it, it will spawn a bunch of them. It will just continuously spawn it until the player character is off of the object, or off of the trigger object. Another way that I could do this is to have it set a Boolean value to true and start spawning on a delay. And then it would just spawn rather than having to trigger it every time. And just to give kind of a final run through, we're going to start on this level. Oh, I also still need to go through the finishers that I built. We'll get to that. Alright, so those objects just spawned. I already did this way. So And then for these up and down lifts, I have it printing that you need to press Q or E to activate them. There is a collectible in here. Just the coins that aren't for some reason. Okay, that's going to be a problem. I need to move that coin. One thing that I did add to these lifts. So when I first looked at them, they would go up and you could take them down because these lifts check for the player being on them in order to accept input. What I did was like a second after. Oh well, I guess I stepped out of the box, but I made them go down on their own. When I first implemented them, they would just stay up like they are, and they wouldn't go back. But the sideways lift doesn't do that. And I pretty much think that covers everything.